Hey everybody, welcome back to Fantasy Theory. So we're a few days late, but a couple days ago there was the House of the Dragon Season 2 official trailer. So I guess everything we got up till now was teasers, but this has a lot of quick shots that we're going to go through. We're going to theorize, we're going to explain, because I am so excited for this show. So let's jump right into this. Before we start, leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it. So the official trailer shows that it will come out June 16th and it will be once a week. I think they said there's going to be 8 episodes. I think the usual amount is 10 episodes, but they're going with 8 now for this season. I'm not sure exactly why, but that's what they're doing. We'll be breaking it down each week, so stay tuned for that. But let's now get right into the trailer. Daemon Targaryen is seen walking towards the Iron Throne. Why he's there alone is interesting. He has no armor on, and he, again, is alone. Unless this shot is a flashback or a dream sequence, it just doesn't make much sense that he would be there in current timeline. Again, it doesn't seem logical that the Red Keep is unguarded and he's alone with no armor. Now, I know this is based off the Fire and Ice book, but I know very little about the book, and I kind of want to speculate and keep it to theories, but I do know a few things like the certain blood and cheese moment and a few battles that I'll mention during the breakdown. Interesting enough, going on much later in the trailer, Daemon hesitates his loyalty to Rhaenyra. So we could see a vision or a dream that is kind of making Daemon rethink pledging his allegiance to Rhaenyra and maybe causing a rift between the two, but we'll get to that a little later on. Next, we go over to the fan favorite, the Starks. We see a shot of Kragan Stark and Jacaerys walking up the stairs on the wall. We even see the Stark sword on his back made of Valyrian steel. There's going to be a lot of quick shots in this trailer, but we'll go by them and briefly talk about them. Some of them are just we don't know what's happening, and some of them we can maybe theorize a little more into it. First thing we see is Viserys' crown, which is now held by Rhaenyra, dropping onto the floor. The dragon eggs, we have 3 specifically, surrounded by a bunch of flames. I don't know if these are possibly the same eggs that were given back in Game of Thrones. I highly doubt that, but, we're just going to theorize. We see some shots of people from behind, but now we see Rhaenyra, who has been narrating the trailer thus far. We see a shot of King's Landing that we've seen in previous teasers, and then hands outstretched, almost like they are begging for something, maybe trying to touch the current queen. It seems like these are just more of the poor people that are starving at this point. Rhaenyra is seen at Dragonstone, with the sun more towards the left of the screen. Not sure what time of day it is, maybe kind of early morning, but it's interesting to see her at this moment. King Aegon is walking through the hall to the throne. This has been played on many teasers. It seems like it's a little longer in this trailer, but he's accompanied by 2 men who may play a big role in the season. Rhaenyra, who we've never actually seen pick up a sword, actually picks up a sword here, and I wonder what's the significance of these swords. I mean, there's 2 on the table. She picks up one and starts to kind of practice in a way. What can make her almost train with the sword? Because we know she doesn't really like to get her hands dirty like that. We get a council scene with Aegon, Grand Maester, Orwell, Tywin Lannister, the Master of Coin, Otto Hightower, Aemond, his brother, Christian Cole, and Alicent, his mother. Aegon is visibly upset and is holding the Valyrian steel dagger. Interesting enough, with his brother Aemond on the other side of the table, it looks to be that he's pointing at him in that moment, and then switches to him pointing at his mother, Alicent. So I could be reaching here, but it's interesting. Now there's a shot of Red Keep over King's Landing. Otto says to Alicent, "We must play the board before us." Alicent wants to proceed with caution, but the king does not agree at all. There's a castle that I'm not really sure what it is. Ravens flapping through trees in a dark forest as Otto says news is spreading, and it transitions to Bela's dragon mood dancer. In another forest open landscape, there is a big battle where we see House Stokeworth, which is the green shields, House Darkland, the red and yellow shields, and House Roseby in the back. That was kind of hard to see, but they're the red and white shield. The next scene with Daemon, we see Sir Larent Marbrand, and also in the scene, I'm not sure if it's him, but it's possibly Jace in the background. The Valyrian fleet is seen in the water, which will be the advantage for the Blacks. As we know, the green side are more combat ready on land, while the Blacks have more of a sea advantage. Daemon's dragon Karofsky comes into frame, and this is what I was speaking to before, where Rhaenyra is asking Daemon if he accepts her as her ruler and the queen, and he just does not answer. So I wonder again if this plays into what we saw earlier in the trailer when he was walking to the throne. Remember, his brother, who was the king at the time, wanted Rhaenyra to be queen instead of Daemon, so could this start to become a rift between the two? Sunfire Dragon with Aegon II, who is wearing Aegon's warrior's crown, flies over King's Landing. Karofsky lands on a stone and breaks it. This happens in a storm, and we've seen Daemon in an earlier teaser walking in the storm ready to attack somebody or stand guard with his sword drawn and his armor out. Another shot of Baela on Moondancer flying close to the ground chasing Sir Criston Cole on horseback. They really started to highlight Baela and Moondancer this trailer, so I wonder what kind of role she'll play in this season. Rhaenyra is seen in a dark room with the fireplace on, and it is all disheveled and has foggy eyes. Maybe this could be later that night or the night after she finds out that her son has died in season 1. The foot fetish guy, Laris, is seen, and Aemon is laying on someone's lap with no eye patch on, and this could be the rumored Alice Rivers who will be introduced this season. I'll touch on her briefly in a moment. Someone steps into water with the camera rotating, which seems like some weird sequence, and it transitions into a ship in water. Alan Valerian is seen, who is loyal to the Blacks. Baela and Moondancer are shooting flames at random soldiers, and there's a quick shot of Viseria where she says there is more than one way to fight a war, which could be her offering a solution to fight the war in a much different way to Rhaenyra. Aegon and Helena are seen hooking up, and we know this is Aegon because he has the ring on his hand. And then we see Alicent and Helena fleeing from the kingdom. This, we see them wearing black, and it could play into a certain blood and cheese moment from the book that it's been teased and rumored to happen in this season, possibly at the beginning of the season, just to kind of set the stakes. And if you want me to go over that in another video, I will, because it's one of probably the craziest moments in Game of Thrones lore. We see Daemon on his dragon Vagar shooting flames, and a shot of Rhaenyra with Vermentor, the older dragon. So, quick thing about Alice Rivers, she is the bastard daughter of Lord Lionel Strong, just to give you a little connection there. But, you know, there's going to play into the blood and cheese moment. Like I said before, there's going to be a few battles that might lead to one another based off the books. Again, I don't really know the books that well. This is just kind of stuff that I gathered over the internet and over on X. But let me know if you read the books, if you kind of see the vision they're going for with this season. I believe they're supposed to do 4 seasons of this, so we have another 2 after this. But I am so excited for the show. Let me know what you thought of the trailer. Leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and have an incredible day.